মৰমৰ ছাত্ৰ-ছাত্ৰীসকল জ্ঞানশ্ৰুতত তোমালোকৰ প্ৰয়োজনীয় বিষয়সমূহ সন্নিবিষ্ট কৰা হৈছে। ইয়াত শিক্ষক-শিক্ষয়িত্ৰীসকলে তোমালোকক বিভিন্ন বিষয়সমূহৰ পাঠদান কৰিব আৰু মই তোমালোকক এই বিষয়সমূহৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আঁত ধৰি যাম। তোমালোকে মনোযোগেৰে সকলোবোৰ বিষয় বুজিবলৈ আৰু শিকিবলৈ যত্ন কৰিবা। দশম শ্ৰেণীৰ ইংৰাজী বিষয়ত তোমালোকে দুখন কিতাপ পঢ়িবলৈ পাবা। তাৰে প্ৰথমখন কিতাপ হৈছে ফাৰ্ষ্ট ফ্লাইট। এই কিতাপখন গদ্য আৰু পদ্য দুটা ভাগত বিভক্ত কৰা হৈছে। ইয়াৰে 5টা অধ্যায় পদ্য আৰু 4টা অধ্যায় গদ্য। দ্বিতীয় কিতাপখন হৈছে ফুটপ্ৰিণ্টছ উইদাউট ফিট। এই কিতাপখন হৈছে পৰিপূৰক অধ্যয়নৰ বাবে, য'ত 4টা অধ্যায় সন্নিবিষ্ট কৰা হৈছে। দশম শ্ৰেণীত তোমালোকক ইংৰাজী শিকাব উপাসনা সোণোৱাল বাইদেৱে।
Hello dear students, welcome to our next class. Today we are going to learn the poem The Ball Poem by John Berryman. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He was born in McAlester, Oklahoma. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of the 20th century, and he is considered as a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. His best known work is The Dream Songs. The poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Now let us read the poem. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning. Well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss. How to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days. How to stand up by John Berryman. Let's go through the word meanings. Oh, there are other balls. The word suggests that the loss is not important enough to worry about. Shaking grief, sadness which greatly affects the boy. Rigid, stiff. To intrude on, here, to enter a situation where no one is welcome. A dime, 10 cents in the US. Desperate, hopeless. Epistemology of loss, understanding the nature of loss. What it means to lose something. And the word epistemology, the Greek word episteme means knowledge. It comes from a word meaning to understand, to know. Epistemology is the study of the nature of knowledge itself. Now let us see what the poem is about. The poet says the boy has lost a ball. He says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street, bouncing, and then merrily over there. That means in the water. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? So in the first, you can see the poet is asking a question, because the poet sees a boy, little boy, from whose hand the ball has fallen, and the ball has skipped down the street, bouncing and then falling in the water. So he sees a little boy, and so he wants to know what will happen to the boy now and how he is going to react because his ball has gone away now. the ball with which he plays, his favorite ball. So the poet wants to see the reaction and what the boy is going to do. The poet also sees the ball falling off from the hands of the little boy and how the ball went down the street bouncing and then it landed in the water. The poet says that there was no use of telling the boy that there are other balls. What happens to the boy? He is shaken with grief. It fixes him. He is shaking in sorrow, crying, and he stands rigid, fixed, not moving, because he is seeing the ball, his favorite ball, in the water and he cannot do about it. He cannot do anything about it. He's staring down there at the ball and he is remembering all the fond memories, all the fond times that he had spent with the ball. All the time that he had played with the others, using that ball with his friends, his cousins, his brothers and sisters. So there is a lot of memory attached to that small ball. So the boy is feeling really sad that he has lost the ball, which is actually a very small thing for us adults. But for a small boy, it was something really big. So he was feeling very sad and he was staring down at that ball in the water, which he could not do anything about. He could not take back the ball. So his first sorrow of losing something, and he is staring there fixed because he cannot do anything about it. So sorrow in his heart and not being able to do anything about it. For us it's a minor thing, but for the small boy it's a big thing.
ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল তোমালোকে এই ভিডিঅ'সমূহ চাই থাকিব পাৰিবা যেতিয়ালৈকে তোমালোকে এই বিষয়বোৰ আয়ত্ত কৰিব নোৱাৰা আৰু যদি কিবা অসুবিধা পোৱা তেনেহলে আমাৰ গাইডলাইনসমূহ অনুসৰণ কৰিব পাৰিবা